Hey guys, it's Liat,
And Casey.
and we are here with episode 137. I don't know if you need me to say 137 for your rhyme.
I mean, I'm going to say it myself. So, yes, I have a good one today. Are you ready?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Right. Episode 137. Let's learn how to meal prep so we don't end up eating at 7-Eleven.
Good one.
Right? Alan loves
That was a
this
good one. I
I
thought
know.
you were going to say like having your meals prepped is heaven because you always do heaven.
I know, but
After-
I had a good one for this one. Oh, yeah. Alan said hot dog rollers.
Oh my.
Sit at 7-Eleven.
Do you even have a 7-Eleven in New Hampshire?
Yeah, I'm sure we do.
Or you saw it on a movie?
No, I think it's something similar. But anyways, yes.
Anyways, peanut butter and jelly. Time for our review of the day. Let's see what nice things people have to say about us. And by the way, if you have not left us a 5-star review on the Apple Podcast app, what are you doing? If you want us to keep doing this, go leave a 5-star review. And what did I say? I got distracted by my coffee. Sorry. Hold on. Cut that, Alan. If you have not left us a 5-star review, what the hell are you doing? Go leave us a 5-star review or no review at all. If you have something not nice to say, go ahead, send it to us in an email, but leave that at 5 stars. We take a lot of pride in it. Thanks.
All right. So today's review comes in from, if I could pronounce this or make a word or a name out of it, I would, but it's like,
I think they type random letters.
Hivik97969. If that's you, you're hot. Okay. It says beyond yes. Casey and Liat bring joy back into this field. They broaden the focus of what is discussed and allow practitioners to see the potential of what ABA has to offer the world. Unapologetically, with a sense of humor and super interesting guests. You go, babes. I love that. That was awesome. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you. And
that.
This person uses the exclamation points like me, like a lot. I love it.
I know, it's good.
All right. So, Casey, sorry. Do you want me to do the behavioral principles really quick?
Go.
All right. Sorry, this is going to be weird, Dini. Let me just get this in here.
We get weird before we get cool, okay?
I love it. Let's do it. Bring it.
All right. So, as always, we promised we'd bring to you what behavioral concepts we will be covering, probably, and probably some more throughout the episode. But let me get the behavioral robot over here to tell you what we will be covering. Okay, behavioral robot here. We will be covering task analyses, technological of the 7 dimensions, proactive approach, meaning antecedent approach, self-management, controlling versus controlled response. I already said antecedent intervention, and now I said it again. High P, low P, behavioral momentum, and pairing. Okay, thank you so much for that, robot. Without further ado, I am so stoked to get in today's podcast. And today's guest, she actually had come to Dallas for an event. And if any of you guys know, I am not the best cook. And I know you guys have all followed that I got divorced in the past year. And that is the one thing that I have lost from my divorce is like cooked Wagyu every night for dinner. And now I'm basically starved. And so I'm just kidding.
No, I'm laughing because it's so true. You went from eating Wagyu to
like
Morningstar
for every meal. I know, it's sad. Okay, so but then when my friend was like, "Come to this event with me," blah blah blah. It's called prep+rally. I was like, "Dude, I'm not really like the cooking, whatever." But I was like, "Okay, I'll go with you." So I went with her, and this person who we have on our podcast today, who we're about to introduce, gave a cooking demonstration and was sharing all about her book she created and the premise behind it. And I finally felt like I too can eat normal food. And at least if it's not really for me, it's more the guilt I felt for Kobe that like he literally went from also being like formula fed with Wagyu mixed in it. I'm just kidding. It wasn't every night. It was just that my ex was a big fan of like Wagyu beef. I don't know. Anyways, but I was like, I too can cook something for myself. And so Casey, can you tell us a little bit about our guest?
Yeah, so I was super jealous and had a lot of FOMO when Liat said she was going to this event because I actually love meal prepping, and it's one of my favorite things to do on Sunday, and I stock my fridge and get all the things ready, but I never seem to utilize the things that I prep, and I throw away a ton of shit. So anyways, I went to Texas, and Leah was kind enough to get me the book. So I have it, I've used it, I love it, and I can't wait to talk. So today's guest is Dini Klein. She's Instagram star, founder of the popular meal prep service prep+rally. You can find her on Instagram at prep+rally. And this book is a guide to delicious, family-friendly meals with less stress, less expense, and minimal time. So she is an enthusiastic foodie and personal chef. And it all started when she launched her food blog in 2010. Now she brings scrumptious home cooking to your turf and is a personal chef in the greater New York area. Dini serves and encourages picky eaters, special diets, and foodies alike. So whether you want a fridge stalker or a party prepper, Dini is here to deliver the goods, and we are lucky enough that she's on our podcast in the flesh. So welcome to the show, Dini.
Thank you so much. Wait, can we actually? I
Yeah,
don't know if that's
I
an
thought
old
this is
bio.
LA.
Sorry, is that an old bio?
Isn't this LA?
From LinkedIn.
Shoot,
No,
that
you're in
must
LA,
be
right?
so old on LinkedIn. Yikes, I need to update that. That's an
Okay, so
old
which one?
bio.
Alan can cut anything. So which part is
Shoot,
it?
sorry. We don't live
Okay.
in New York, and I don't even do personal chefing anymore.
That's
That
what
is
I
so-
literally was
You
like.
are a liar.
I know. I was like,
literally
wait,
was
no, I
like-
don't do any of that.
I was about to cut it off and be like,
Oh
did
my
I completely
goodness.
miss the
I know, I
point
was
that
like,
I
wait,
thought
should
she
I
was in
scroll
LA?
with it?
I
don't
have a
know.
good one. Alan.
No, it's fine. Cut it.
Cut
Okay,
it
so
from the where I end with less expensive.
why don't you say, Dini worked as a personal chef.
Or just go on my website. Hold on, there's an updated one. I just never update LinkedIn because I
couldn't
don't
find
even
your
get what it's for. Hold on, go to prep+rally.com and under the About, our founder.
Oh, look at this. Okay. I feel like LinkedIn was hot at one point, and then it just like.
No,
I
it's a
don't
totally
get
different.
how to
Like
use
it's
it.
corporate. Like my sister, is on it more than Facebook.
Hold
Like,
on, I'm
it's-
gonna send you. This is it. Okay,
You can put in the chat.
let me give you a new
I'm just gonna wing it.
bio. Yeah, you can also just wing it. You don't
I'm
need
just
like the
gonna
whole thing. Don't
I'm gonna
worry.
let you talk about yourself anyways, so let me just wing it.
Exactly. Okay, wing it.
All right.
We're in LA. I have 3 kids.
LA. Okay.
Founded the prep+rally meal prep system and
Yeah.
author of the prep+rally cookbook.
Perfect. All right.
And then, okay, because we're
And
gonna
then-
ask you like how you started it.
Yeah,
and stuff,
I'll
and,
fill in the details. No
Okay.
need for like a whole thing. Don't worry. Okay.
So Dini lives in LA with her 3 children. She is the founder of the
I think you
meal
should
prep
say her
service.
husband, and I think you should say her husband and 3 children.
We don't eat Wagyu though.
Yeah, yeah.
right.
No Wagyu.
You guys, this bio, if you want to go find her, it's at Dini Klein.
Fuck yourself and Google that shit, okay?
All right, Dini lives in LA with her husband and 3 children. She is the founder of the meal prep service Prep+rally and the author of the cookbook Prep+rally, which we are all holding in our hands right now. I know you might not be able to see it, but we are recording today. So anyways, Dini, we're so pumped to have you. Welcome to the show.
Yay. Thank you so much for having me. This is so much fun and you guys are awesome. I know we're going to have a good time.
We are.
Well, I was so excited at the event. So everyone was getting their book signed after, which, by the way, Case, I realized I did buy you a book, but I didn't get yours signed.
Oh, snap.
I didn't want to be like,
seeing her in person.
but I was
is
already,
better
I
than
didn't want to be like extra annoying getting like multiple signs. I actually bought more than 2 because I bought my mom one and my
I love
sister.
you.
But I didn't I was like, I'm already being annoying. Like, you know me, I had to like insert myself in there being like, hey, listen, I have this podcast. I actually think the audience, like, you'd be perfect for it. Is there any way you would consider? So like I got my one book signed and then like asked another favor,
Okay,
So
I
like,
would
gonna
have
get, like,
signed all of your books and you were so sweet for coming over and introducing yourself. And I was so happy that we connected and that we get to do this. This is so awesome.
Yeah, no,
And
it's
I
so
love
cool.
what you guys
So-
do.
but that's
on
why
here.
yours is not signed, Casey. I know. Usually I am like chutzpah, like, and I will ask, but
It's
whatevs.
Leon's fault. I would have done it. Just so you
Yeah,
know.
okay.
Just so
It's
you
on
know.
me. All right.
So
So
worth it.
the reason why I'm like, before we even get into like how you started this and all that, I like was so excited to have you on this podcast because I like right before the show, Casey and I were actually like looking at the stats of our field of behavior analysis. It is made up of, if you look on like on the BACB website, it's 85% women, ages 25 through 44 make up 60% of our field. So, and that's not to say that there's not people like on either other end, but like one of the most common things we talk about in our field is burnout, because we are servicing so many others and other people's families. And by the time you get home to your own kids, it's like, I'm dead. Like, honestly, like, don't
Like
talk
you've
to me.
gotten a hot dog from the roller station at 7-Eleven, if you're lucky.
Exactly. Circling back to 7-Eleven, roller station. And so that's why when like I heard you that night that you had like figured out this whole way for people to be able to find a pragmatic solution for meal prep, I was like, you have to come on. So with that, can you tell people a little bit about this book, Prep and Rally, and what you do? And just
100%. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, I started as a private chef in New York. I did that for 8 years. That's really how I got started. It was all very customized meals, and kind of like what you said with, the other people that follow you guys, and your main audience is parents or, busy individuals that are working, have hectic days, and then come home and it's like, oh God, now I have to feed myself, feed my family, and do it fast. Right. And I would come home and I felt so stressed out. I didn't want to look at food or smell food or cook or stand on my feet anymore because I was just so exhausted from the day. So I needed to get creative and figure out how the heck I could feed my own family, because everybody would ask my husband and my kids, oh, you probably eat so well, your mom's a chef. And my kids are like, wait, we have pasta, right? Or like, it was cereal last night. Like, I was really slacking. Like, the shoemaker's kids have no shoes. That was the case. So I had to get creative, and I would prep staple dishes on Sunday at the start of the week. It was like 6 or 7 staple, simple things like a quinoa, a batch of roasted broccoli, spice roasted chicken, something very easy that I could just throw in the oven just to get things cooked and throw in my fridge. And then later in the week, I was able to just pull those out and quickly assemble them into quick and easy dinners Monday through Thursday. So the quinoa, broccoli, and chicken was a grain bowl one day, and the broccoli and the chicken went into an egg roll with the dipping sauce the next day, right? So it was really getting creative and figuring out how to use those bulk items in different ways so we're not burnt out and sick of the same food, because I could never eat the same thing every day. We're reducing food waste because you're using up everything you have. You're prepping it once so that you're not going to the grocery store more than once a week, and you're not cooking really more than once a week. Everything is ready for you in your fridge. You're just doing quick, light assembly, or maybe something's marinating and you just have to grill it, or maybe something, just needs to be assembled or rolled into an egg roll. So it's really just getting creative. And with an art background and a fashion background, I love the idea of taking something that you already have and finding a new life for it and a new purpose, and like mixing and matching and recreating it. So to me, that was super thrilling. And it was a way for me to be able to feed my own family while I was still working and busy. And I figured this could really help other busy families all around the world, right? Whether you have kids, no kids, working, not working, life is hectic. We all got to eat, and we all want to do it quickly and easily. So I created a meal prep system and the Prep and Rally cookbook that essentially gets you out of the kitchen in minimal time while still getting dinner on the table all week long. Boom.
And on top of it, I have to say, like, and we'll tell you the exact format of it, and also you'll have to get your own book to understand the total format. But it tells you exactly what you need to buy for each thing, and it tells you which things you should regularly have on hand in your pantry and which things you should regularly have on hand in your fridge. And that alone, first of all, saved me money, because I am notorious for buying the same shit at the store every time and throwing it away every time. Like I have my same things I buy. Like, I buy the huge thing of spring mix, throw it away full
Always
every time.
garbage.
Sometimes not
Every
even
time.
like unsealed. Yeah, it's
Always.
sad.
I hate a spring
Uh,
mix.
that I would like always like add like tuna to my like, and I don't think I've ever like I don't remember the last time like I prepared, like it was just like buying the same shit Morningstar every time. And I like my fridge is like literally like overflowing with these things in it.
It's like, what do I do with it?
And none of them go together was the
Right.
problem. Like, or at least in my head, I'm like, okay, I have all these things, but like nothing to do with them. And so that was number one. So I felt like I mean, I did see, like, I was like, oh my God, my groceries were so low this week. Second of all, it also, oh, that's my ADD. Fuck. Sorry, I did not sleep for 1 second last night. I'm on a new ADD med, and it literally,
It's like she's on
is
like crack.
like crack. I was up the entire
Oh,
night, so my brain's a little no, but I'm good. Wait, I was saying it not only save money, but it also
allowed you to eat well or saved a lot of time, thank
you.
money, sanity. I mean, that's what
Yes,
it's all
okay, there we go.
about. And it's like
Okay, yeah, so
yeah.
exactly. So, like, it saved money, but it also, I mean, the amount of guilt that I carry, I don't know if it's just, like, a mom guilt that you just of, like, my poor kid cannot have cottage cheese for one more meal, you know? It really is amazing. So, yeah, everyone.
Yeah, and then the fact that you come home from carpool when I don't know about your families, but my house is a literal shit show when we get home from school. Like you walk through the door, everyone's like hyper and wild. It goes from like wild, hyper crazy to like fetchy, tired, I'm starving, like so fast. And if I don't have dinner ready, all hell breaks loose. And it's just the most stressful thing in the world because they want dinner the second they walk home from school. They get in like 4:15, they want dinner. So if I am prepared and I have everything ready to go, I just have to heat it up or I just have to quickly assemble it. Or maybe there's a DIY component where everyone gets to build their own burrito or build their own taco bowl. That makes it even more fun and interactive. But if I just have that preparation, I feel like the most amazing mom in the world. My kids are happy. The week is calmer. I'm able to work throughout the day and not figure out what's for dinner. Am I going to go to the grocery store? Let me start making a menu. Let me start cooking. No, it's like, okay, I know that tonight is going to be the burgers with the sauce that I already have. I just have to grill the burgers that I already formed. It'll take me 3 seconds. Boom, boom, boom. Kids, here you go. So it's like, it's just a way to make your life easier. And it's kind of like a workout where like, you just have to motivate yourself to do it at the start of the week. Or even if you're not baking out a full meal prep at the start of the week, just shopping for what you need at the start of the week, mapping out what you're going to be making throughout the week, just so you have at least a game plan and you know what's coming. So you're not scrambling. You'll have the most productive week.
So I have 2 things. Right now, if anyone's studying this, she just gave the most best example of a self-management. The 2 responses we talk about is the controlling response, right? What are you doing to get to the controlled response? So all these things she just said, the prepping, the shopping, making things ahead of time, that is the controlling response when we talk about self-management to result in her having food on the table for her kids before they lose their shit, right? That's her goal. That's what she wants to achieve. And so those are perfect examples. The second
And
thing,
antecedently to avoid, like, her kids probably get annoying, right? When they're like that. So she's like, let me go ahead and avoid this from the get-go. So that's a great way to study. Nice work, Case.
And weeks when I don't do it, I am a miserable human.
You're punished.
My kids, I literally am scrambling. I am unproductive. I'm a hot mess. And if you guys follow me on Instagram, like you saw my to-do list yesterday, it was a wild to-do list. I didn't have dinner ready. Somehow I was able to bang out the chicken and spaghetti bake from my book only because my
looking at that one.
It's my favorite recipe. If you're going to try one thing from the book, try that recipe, the one pot chicken and spaghetti bake.
Wait, is that the one that's like sesame noodle chicken bake?
Sesame noodle chicken bake. Sorry, one pot sesame noodle chicken bake. That's what
I've been obsessed with anything noodle,
so good.
Like peanut sauce or like.
She said peanut, by the way.
Peanut.
She literally says peanut sauce, and she meant peanut.
But the other thing I was going to say that I love, so I know that Liat and Dini both have kids, and I don't. It's just me and my husband, and it's so hard to cook for 2 people. Now, I am someone who, I don't like eating the same thing every single day. So I was stuck in this rut where I'd make like one big like lasagna or one big soup, right? And that shit is still living in my freezer that I think I'm going to pull out.
Right.
I'm not going to eat it. So like I've learned that about myself. But this one, each week makes 4 dinners for 4 people. But what that for me and my husband has meant is that we have dinner and then we have lunch the next day. I am totally cool eating leftover dinner for lunch, and so is he. I don't have to prep him sandwiches and waste all this lunch meat that we throw away, or like it just rolls right into the next day and it's so easy. And the thing that I love the best is that I'm very like type A, like I need a list. I need to know what it's going in, how much of what. And that's what the book is. Like it takes you from the prep of everything you need. And then it also numbers it in what like prep that you're actually
Corresponds to what?
that corresponds. And then anything that's a rally, there's an R next to it. That means, hey, you're not actually doing this on Sunday, but you're going to use it during the week to rally your meals.
Yes.
And everything is so simple. Like there's not one recipe that I was like, oh no, like my husband can do these, which is saying a lot.
Honestly, that was my intention. I wanted to be stupid easy enough that even my husband can do it. Or if I'm out of town, he could at least like assemble the stuff and put it all together. I wanted it to be very easy. I wanted it to all be very kid-friendly food, things that are somewhat familiar for your kids, because I didn't want anyone to be like, oh, my kid won't eat that, or like they're too picky, I don't like this. Or I want everything to be, over friendly, like really family-friendly food. And really easily customizable as well. So at the start of each meal plan, I show you how to make it gluten-free, dairy-free. If you want to lighten things up, if you're eating a little bit lighter, maybe you don't want to have the chili in a bun. Maybe you want to have the chili in a taco for your kid, and you want to have it in, over some quinoa or over a bed of lettuce or in some lettuce cups, let's say. So there's always a modification to really make it work for everyone.
You thought of everything. You thought of literally everything. Notes and swaps. Prep smart. Prep it more kid-friendly.
Yes.
Prep it gluten-free. Lighten it up. Prep it vegetarian. Cooking tools and equipment needed. Like you literally...
It's so technological.
Oh, I'm so happy.
Literally.
There's tons of footnotes also that even show you more ways to like serve this differently. If you're already making this sauce, you can also make this for lunch, right? So I wanted to give you options. And the goal of the book was really to serve as a guide to help you get started on this path. So you start thinking creatively, using up leftover things, batch prepping items so that you could find two purposes for it. So you're shopping once and cooking once, and eating all week long. And just for you to really learn how to do it, not necessarily give you a specific set of recipes, but really teach you the art of creating menus like this so that you could do it for yourself moving forward. And there's a really fun section in the back, the repurposing your leftovers section.
I love that. I have that tabbed.
It's my favorite, and I want to make t-shirts out of it. I'm hoping that'll happen soon.
Wait, that is a great idea, because when I saw this a minute ago, that's literally, look, I have it tabbed.
It's my favorite.
It's a really cute picture of you. Whoever took your pictures, I mean, you are really hot in general, but
you're so sweet.
Like
Thank you.
Your pics, like if they could help me out a little bit.
Honestly, I had a whole team. I went all out. I wanted the book. Like you really have one shot at doing things right. And I had such a vision for this my entire life that I was going to do it the right way. I hired a stylist. We rented an amazing house because we were renting a place at the time. And I've hired the best photographers because I really wanted the vision to come to life exactly the way I imagined it. And again, like I said, I have an art background, so I really knew what I wanted.
Like aesthetically.
And we poured it into
pictures are
pages.
gorgeous. It makes you want to cook the food when you see them.
Like it's like, am I going to be this hot if I cook the food?
Yes, you will. Yes, you will. And honestly, the biggest goal was to get into anthropology because they're very particular about like the pretty books they take, and they bought the book, which is so exciting.
That's huge to be an anthro.
So just that alone was like, you see, Mike, I told my husband, I was like, you see, it was worth doing all of that and getting the best photographer because this stuff isn't cheap, right? But you do it because you have a vision and you want to see it through, and you don't cut corners. I really wanted to do it right. But this page I'm so obsessed with. It's like the start of this.
What page is that? I'm like,
oh my God, it's so
page
good. 239.
Oh, okay. I was all the way in the back.
It's the leftover remix section. So essentially the book starts with the 10 brand new meal plans at the beginning of the book. And then it goes into this whole leftover section. And it's really meant to inspire if you have any leftovers in your fridge, or you're trying to think of, okay, I already want to make rice for this dish on Monday. What else can I do with it on Wednesday when I have a little bit left over? Okay, I could cook it in a casserole. I could stir it in an egg. I could cook it in a waffle maker. Maybe I'll fold it up into quesadilla. There's like lots of different techniques and methods to.
You're really into egg rolls, like that.
I love egg rolls. That's so funny.
No, but it's amazing because I never thought to use that.
Okay, they seem like they're so complicated. Once you know how to roll them, it literally takes me 3 seconds to roll each one. And I don't fry them, I bake them. So you buy them, you keep them in the freezer so you always have them on hand. If you have
That's one of your like have to have on hand. I bought that after.
It's one of my favorite things, especially because kids love it because it's handheld, it's crispy, crunchy, and you could stuff it with anything you have left over, whether it's roasted vegetables with cheese, or you could put, like shredded chicken with broccoli and dunk it into a ranch sauce, which I have in the cookbook. You could stuff shredded brisket or wagyu, whatever you want in there, and dunk it in like an Asian.
Oh my God, do I say it wrong? How are you supposed to pronounce that?
Wagyu?
How are you supposed to pronounce it?
Wagyu? Wagyu?
Wagyu.
Wagyu. Wagyu. I always said Wagyu.
You say it right. You're the chef.
Wagyu.
I have no idea.
I don't know. I'm also weird. Wagyu.
No, you probably say it right. I probably have
Wagyu.
no idea. I
We
just
all
was
from
like,
Texas. It was
Jordan-
Oh wait,
Wagyu.
I have a quick question. Complete side note, but okay, I'm probably gonna pronounce it wrong. But shashuka,
Oh, shakshuka.
shakshuka. Okay, so I've always seen it made with tomatoes, and I hate tomatoes. And I was looking at your recipe, and you make it with red peppers.
So there's red peppers in it. There's also tomato sauce in it. But if you wanted to do it with just peppers and do it like a roasted red pepper sauce.
I like tomato sauce. I just don't like
pieces of tomatoes.
Pieces of
Yeah, no, I do it with pureed, like crushed tomatoes,
I was
and
like,
then
I
a
can
lot
get
of
down with this
sauteed,
one.
yes, peppers and onions. You throw eggs in there, and then I even do some nice lemon zest on it. You top it with a really yummy like green tahini sauce. It's so delicious. My kids love shakshuka. And again, it's like a one-pot meal because you have really everything in there, and you could serve it with bread for dunking, side salad if you want. It's so yummy. It's super good.
Okay, so
I love it.
I have a game I want to play. I made up this game right now. Casey knows that like I make up games and make her play. This game goes like this because this just shows how not cooking creative I am. So like on this essential repurposing methods page, also I'm very artsy, so like aesthetically I do really love the way it looks with the little icons.
I love it.
Tell me what page you're on. So
okay.
239.
I'm going to say one of the repurposing things and you give me an example of something you would think to put in there, okay? So like
is her internet bad for anyone
else? Yeah, something's cutting out.
Like
mine?
Your internet is, and you're very great.
I want to play this game. So hurry, Leah. This is exciting.
I know. What the hell? Okay. Oh, I'm on the 2G. Is it going to be a problem if I switch over to the 5G?
That face is good.
Okay, is it working? Is it clear?
No, but go with it.
No, it's not. What the hell?
Maybe it'll get better. Hold on.
I have.
No, I think it's getting better now.
Yeah.
Why does it even give me the option of 2G? Like, who wants that? Okay, so this is the game I made up. Okay. I'm like a real player. I realize that because I always have games. Okay, so
and I did not play. We were singing in Miami.
Okay, that song you showed me, like "Girls is players too."
I love it.
It's like the most loser thing I've ever heard.
Anyways.
All right. Okay, so stir in an egg. Mm-hmm. Like, what is something that you would stir in an egg for?
Me? Okay. Can I answer?
Ooh, no. go.
And then you answer. Okay. If I were to stir in an egg, it would definitely be like noodles. If I had like any type of like stock noodles and I would just like whisk in an egg to cook it like a scrambled egg. Like an Asian dish.
Love that. You went a totally different direction than I would have gone.
Obviously, I like
that. Okay, you creative. I would do, like, if I have any roasted vegetable, I would just like finely chop it up and whisk it into like a frittata or an omelet or little egg cups, egg bites for breakfast if you want to portion them out. It's a really great way to do that. Just make an omelet, or you can even put like an omelet in a tortilla, like a charred tortilla.
I love how we went total. So you did like
so different
into the egg, and I did put the egg into something.
But you see, there are so many different ways that you could do it. You just got to start thinking.
I literally was like, I don't know, maybe I'd put like a bowl of cereal with egg in it. I have no idea.
Morningstar Farm egg, Morningstar Farm.
All right, okay.
Works, whatever works.
Also, Casey and I did one of the week's cooking together, which we could talk about after too.
Oh, I love it. I want to know which one. Fun.
Okay, but you have to wait for the surprise. Okay, so fine. Next is fry up fritters.
Ooh, good one. I would either do like rice, where you just
your quinoa,
like quinoa, exactly, quinoa, egg. You could even put some chopped vegetables in there also, whether you have like fresh shredded carrots or some leftover roasted vegetables from the week. Chop it all up. I love using one of those salad choppers. Mm-hmm. I have one of those because you just put everything in a bowl and you just chop until it's like finely chopped and cohesive. Throw an egg, maybe a little bit of flour to bind it, some seasoning, and boom, you just fry them up. They're so yum.
Okay, now this one, I have no idea. Simmer some porridge.
So that also, you could do with like a leftover grain, right? So you could add some like milk, add some, chopped fresh strawberries or frozen strawberries, or I do frozen blueberries sometimes to make it like a purple porridge or a purple like oatmeal. My kids think that's like really cool. Yeah, you could totally like simmer some porridge with any kind of leftover grain you have on hand, or maybe you have like some leftover fruit that's hanging out in your fruit bin that's about to go bad. And it's like, okay, because you kind of make like a compote and add some right? Like oats to it if you want, or really any grain that you want to use up.
Love it.
Okay, now last one that I'm going to choose.
Dun, 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 dun.
And Casey, did you have any for the porridge one, by the way?
No. I was going to say, like, I was thinking for some reason sweet potatoes.
Like Goldilocks and the Three Bears?
I was thinking more like I was going more savory. Like,
well, that's what I was going to say. You can also do a savory porridge for dinner, which is so delicious. Like you could either do like a savory rice kind of porridge, and you could put like a cracked egg, like a goozy egg in it, some scallions, some soy sauce, kind of go Asian-y route. It's almost like a grits or a polenta type of thing, right? You guys do that in Texas, don't you?
Yeah.
No?
We have, like, I barely.
Yeah. No, they do have it at places. I mean,
grits.
I mean, I know you guys are both. I don't know if you're kosher too, but I was thinking like a sausage
pork belly.
porridge.
Like literally, the only thing she eats is pork belly
and like shrimp,
fish,
and like
oysters. Like I was like, dude, if I came to your house, there's literally
nothing I could eat.
Like I don't even think she'd have like an apple. Like she eats like
BYO Morningstar when you go to her house. That's
no,
it.
literally. Like I'm like like even though when something's not kosher, it's not kosher. But like somehow in my head, like I have like levels. You know, it'd be like, oh, this place just seems like really like Casey's. I don't even think I could like the plates have like
just inhaling your trafe.
Yeah,
exactly.
Inhaling.
Okay, so the last one is roll it into an egg roll, and I thought of one for this one, and then it was kind of a joke, and it made me like want to puke. It was kind of like,
oh god,
because my sister always makes this joke. She's like, we have this one family friend who's like, he's like this like Israeli like chef, like amazing stuff he makes. But she always like likes to make him feel bad for her. So she's always talking about like repurposing her cholent. If anyone doesn't know what this is.
Don't even.
And so she's always
okay. I'm all about.
Can you explain?
There is
can
never
you explain what cholent is to everyone listening? Because
okay,
the majority of people are not going to know. What
Let's start with this. There's never a repurpose for cholent. I'm all about saving money, repurposing.
My dogs.
Give it to the dogs. I used to have a roommate in college who would bring her mom's like leftovers home, and on a Tuesday night, heat it up in the microwave. I literally wanted to die. I couldn't.
Oh my god, I can't. But can you say what it is? Can you tell people what it is that I'm talking about?
It's a very traditional Ashkenaz Jewish stew of sorts with mostly potato, beans, barley, and like a short rib type of meat that you cook in a slow cooker all night starting on Friday, and you eat it on Saturday. My kids start eating it at breakfast time, and then they eat it for lunch, and then by the end of the day you can't smell it anymore because you just can't. You just don't want to smell it by the end of the day, and it all sticks to the like crock pot, and it's just a little bit of a mess, but it's delicious, and the kids are obsessed with it, and I even love it until it gets to be like 11, 12 o'clock, and then I'm done. We're done, right? It's just like the smell of it just kind of lingers all day.
No, I can. It makes me feel like I don't like cholent.
It's heavy. It's a little heavy and intense.
Oily too.
But then that was my funny joke in my head. I was like, because my sister does this thing, and the guy's like, "This is disgusting. That you really do this, you know?" And she's like, "Yeah, no, I like blend it up after Shabbat and like I'll put it onto like sandwiches for my kids, like with tomato."
Is she really, or this is a joke?
No. My sister's like full of shit. Yeah, no, but it's like just like get the hell out of this person. But anyways, then my head was like, oh, what if you like ground up cholent and put it into an egg roll?
Oh,
and I was like, gag.
I am going to literally throw up after this.
I know, literally.
Don't do that.
I think my favorite one, and that I do all the time, is with any. Honestly, I have not found really any leftover that I can't turn into a quesadilla.
I love that.
I love quesadillas.
Totally. Like, any roasted vegetable, you could do chicken in there, meat, whatever. Roll it all up. I totally agree with that, which is why tortillas, like you'll see also in the beginning of this leftovers guide, there's a whole big picture of basically like all carby things, because these are all great ways to use up leftovers. Like put it in a pie shell. Here's pie dough, right? Puff pastry, exactly. You just need some fun way to get it in, especially for kids. A pita, maybe you're making like a rayas, right? Where you like put meat in the pitas, making little sandwiches.
Oh, I love those.
Those are so good, right? Tortillas are an amazing one because you could always make a taquito. Taquitos are so yummy, right? Like a flauta where you like roll up chicken in it and fry the tortilla like a little cylinder. So yummy.
Oh, I didn't think that's what you're talking about at 7-Eleven, right? Isn't that what I've seen rolling there before?
Oh, don't they call those Tostitos?
Chiquita? Taquitos.
Do they call them taquitos?
Yeah.
No, I
Their own
think
name for it.
isn't that, I'm sorry, it's all coming back to
I
this
was
like
right.
reference
Alan said
making.
taquitos.
They're called taquitos, and they're also called, I think in Mexico, they call them flautas. So in the book, I call them flautas. But yeah, they go by either name. But you can set them with chicken, with meat, really anything. And they have just a good crunch to them. And that's a great way to get kids to eat, is like add some great texture.
Add crunch.
Add some crunchy crunch, right? Which is why kids love cheese, because it gets crispy, crunchy. My go-to, like whenever I need a quick and easy lunch, I'll take any leftover roasted vegetable in the fridge, which there always are plenty, and I just melt sauce and cheese. And I throw it in the air fryer for a couple minutes. It's like my favorite quick and easy lunch when I just don't have time.
Wait, what did you say? You
That's my
take the
go-to.
roasted veggies?
Sauce, cheese on top. I usually put it on a piece of tinfoil. Like this is
Like it's essentially like a pizza?
stars. They're just like us, right? I literally take tinfoil, roasted veggies on top that's already cooked, some marinara sauce, some cheese. I throw it in the air fryer and I just like cook it for a couple minutes, and that's like a part of my lunch. I'm usually hungry a little bit
episode
after
is
that.
making me
You see,
hungry.
this to you sounds like so easy, like, yeah, like, duh.
But
you
some
know?
people wouldn't think to do
But
that.
it shows that it's like, it's really like, you know, with certain, like, our brains are all so different. Like, I feel like I'm
Totally.
creative in so many other ways, but when it comes to food, it's like, my brain just doesn't work. But
That's the
okay.
thing. Not everyone's a food person, which is why this
That's
book
why
isn't meant to be the guide. Like I want you to always be able to look at that leftover remix page and learn, okay, maybe I could make it into a waffle. Maybe I could wrap it into a burrito, right? And then the page before that, on page 236, is a whole section on the leftovers guide here where it's have this, make that. So like if you have some leftover chicken, there's like 20 different things that you could make with leftover chicken: a chicken pizza, chicken pasta, tacos, chicken flauta, stir fry, pulled barbecue chicken sliders or tacos, chicken and rice bake on page 244. So it's really meant to guide you so that you're never in a rut. It's meant to give you some different ideas on what you could throw together easily, what you can meal prep, what you can do to use your leftovers, staple dessert recipes at the end that are like healthy-ish, things that you want to keep on your counter all week long to just grab and go for breakfast, or prep in bulk and store in your freezer for last minute guests. That's really what it's about, and just keeping things simple.
And that's the thing, is I used to like batch cook chicken, and then whatever, I didn't know what to like really like do with it. And like this week alone, I did chicken on Sunday, and I had, so far it's only Tuesday, I've had a chicken, in like broccoli bowl with some rice, and then I made chicken salad sandwich for lunch out of the next day.
Yes,
and
amazing.
Then last night I turned it into, I had some like ramen, and I just like cut up the chicken and put it in ramen and broth with some like scallions and carrots.
Yes, like a hot pot.
I was like, I just made with one batch of chicken thighs, I just made 3 meals.
You see, okay, you're saving money. You shop once for it. You
I've only gone once.
That is amazing. And that is what the book is meant to inspire, because not everyone can do that and think like that and get creative, because it is an art. It's an art form. It's like, how do you repurpose something? It's almost like you go in your closet and there's so much clothing, you're overwhelmed, right? When you go in your fridge, there's so much there, but like, what the heck do I do with any of it? I don't know how to make an outfit out of this.
I have the most, like, thank God. I always say, like, thank God my fridge is always full.
But it's
like,
never
it's like
feeding you.
Yeah.
Right. It's like your outfit. You could have a ton of clothing, but never be able to make an outfit because there's like overwhelm. There's too much. You don't know what to do with it. You need like the formula to get your creative juices flowing, right? Which is why I say when you're on vacation and you only have a few items of clothing, you get more creative with how you mix and match them, because all you have, right? So it's like, oh, I wouldn't have thought to put that dress with that sweater, but like seeing it together because that's all I have here, like that made you think of it, right?
Yeah.
So it's very similar, which is why fashion and food are so connected. It's all art. It's all the same side of the brain.
Oh my God.
Is that the one that you prepped?
Yeah, we did this one.
I love that meatloaf.
Yeah,
so it's getting nicer here in New Hampshire, so I was like, let's do the sun's out.
Yes, sun's out, buns out, baby. I love it.
And by the way, guys, everyone listening, I mean, if you have used any of our products at Study Notes ABA, and please tell me that you guys are always reading every product description we have on our site, because the amount of like thought and effort that goes into naming each product and the copy underneath it is a lot of work. And all your naming of your different things, I love it. So I have to tell you that like I see you, and I know that like when you think of one like that, you're like, yes,
I got
right?
it. I'm telling you, that was all my editor's idea. It was going to be chapter 1, chapter 2, meal prep 3, meal prep 4. And we're like, let's just have fun with this, right? Like, let's call it something fun. Turnip the heat, right? Because we're doing turnips in that one. Like, so yeah, we had fun with those. I love that.
So sun's out, buns out, guys. So if you're wondering what Casey and I did on Zoom or FaceTime with each other, so how it worked is you go through and you prep. Okay, that's why it's called prep and rally. So telling you what to prep. So, and those balsamic jammy onions,
so good.
I don't even like onions, and I love them
because they're sweet. They're like sugary and delicious, and
they're so good,
soft.
so good.
You can
and
put
just
them
to have in your fridge, to like put on stuff.
Yeah, you could even freeze them in like little ice cube trays if you wanted to. So you have them for like an omelet one day. Yeah.
Can you do that with like vinegared? No, vinegar wouldn't freeze, would it? Could you do it with vinegared onions?
What do you mean?
Or is that weird?
Like pickled
like,
onions?
When you like put like red onions chopped in like vinegar to like
a pickled onion. So the texture would probably get a little bit weird. It probably wouldn't have like a crunch, but the cooked ones.
Oh, because these are like
they're cooked and like softened, so they're already soft in texture.
And if anyone is out there, again, what my husband said when we started this is an absolute high probability request sequence. This is high P, high P, high P. All of the prep is going to be like those easy, fun things you take an hour on Sunday to do, to then, okay, it's the weeknight and we need to cook dinner. Guess what? No one really wants to do that when you're busy AF. So you've already created this behavior momentum for yourself. And now it's easy. It takes all the hard work out of it, and it actually makes it more fun, because I know that when I'm forced to like come up with something, by the time I've decided what I'm
it's like I like cooking better when I have a sous chef like chopping my ingredients. So it's essentially like all those things are there for you, and now just put them together.
Exactly. Totally. And there's tons of shortcuts that I give you throughout as well. Like if you don't want to cook the chicken, buy rotisserie this week. If you don't want to make ranch, buy the ranch this week. There's shortcuts that you could make to always make sure you're able to get
don't put ingredients that like require you to like travel to India or something.
Exactly. That was also a big thing. Like there were sometimes I wanted to use teriyaki or like, but I wanted it to be very universal that anybody can find these staple, simple ingredients. If you want to cheat and use like a cream of mushroom soup in the tuna casserole, go for it. But I'm going to show you how to make it homemade quickly and easily. So if you're in Africa, wherever you are, you can't get cream mushroom soup, right?
Yeah.
You could do that. So that was also a big part of it.
Okay. So just so you know, so what we did first, we did the balsamic jammy onions. That had a total of 5 ingredients, including one of them being salt. Okay. So then the second thing you prep is quinoa. And I never know if I say that right because my parents are South African. My mom says quinoa.
Quinoa.
So I didn't know. Okay. How do you say it?
Quinoa.
You say quinoa. I say quinoa. I say quinoa.
Quinoa.
I say
tomato. Tomato.
It's like a little tiny circle.
Then you make that. That has 3 ingredients. Okay. 3 of the ingredients being quinoa, water, and salt. Okay.
Alan says quinoa. No, you do not.
Alan.
No, that's just wrong. Quinoa.
No, that's wrong.
Sorry.
Yes,
he said yes, quinoa.
Yes,
asparagus. Again, a 3 ingredient thing. So like you could be making all these next like at the same time. Like it's like easy.
Yeah.
Okay. So the asparagus, also 3 ingredients: asparagus, olive oil, salt and pepper on 1 line. So technically kind of 4 ingredients, but you get what I mean.
I think those are considered staples.
Okay. Then corn husk, 2 tablespoons light olive oil, kosher salt. So you're making all these things. Okay. Now you've got that going. This is slightly more steps, but like you got all those little things ready that like those are going to be part of your
5 things.
What? That's 5 already.
Yeah, yes. You've already made 5 things. You're already winning the week.
Then the meatloaf. This is a winner. The meatloaf in this book, so good. I loved it when we had like the meatloaf on the sandwiches.
It's so yummy, and it's even a great like if anyone
with the jammy onions.
Passover recipe. This is a great one. Just add like Passover breadcrumbs to the mix. But the jammy onions are great. Quinoa you could have on Passover. Like I've done it for Passover demos before, and it is so good.
Oh, that is
serve it as like a first course if you want to make it fancy. Make it an individual little like burgers if you want. Make it in a full meatloaf. Totally do what works for you.
Wait, that is
Okay,
That's a really
side
good idea.
note, I also want to talk about it's going to take 2 seconds. How the grocery list is organized. When you go in, and my grocery list before would be like
All
all
over
over
the
the store.
place.
All
So
over
you're
the store.
going to the produce, and then you're going to get
Oh,
your
and then I
bulk
forgot the
pantry
sour
stuff.
cream when I left the produce, and now I'm in the veggies, and I have to go
Yep.
back because I forgot that. It's organized by produce, pantry, protein, dairy, and eggs. So it's literally you go right to that section and you check off everything that you need.
And what
You
I
go
used
to
to
the
do as a
meal
private
aisle.
chef, I knew my Fairway Market when I was living in New York, that I would literally make my grocery list and order, like I knew in my head where exact everything was. So I would literally map it out so I could be in and out of that grocery store in
Dude,
under like 20 minutes.
Fairway in New York is like,
The
I don't know
craziest place
if
on
I'm thinking
72nd.
like on the east side, like
It's
my
hectic.
sister's, it was like so stressful. Like going in there, like it's like crammed and like the
Yes.
line goes really fast, but it's like really long. And
It's
it's
just a massive place, and there's a million people there. And I'm telling you, I lived there. I was there every single day, rain or shine. Then I had to wait outside for like cabs to get to clients' houses, up and down, elevators, stairs, like humble beginnings.
Look at you now.
wow.
Done with this,
Yeah.
done with the private chefing. It was great, but my God, it
Well,
ain't
clearly we
easy.
cannot say enough good things about this
Well,
book.
I'm sorry. Let me finish. I'm almost done. Okay. So then you prepare the meatloaf, not difficult. Then crispy chicken katsu.
Oh, I
Okay.
love that
That
one.
sounds cool, right? Citrus butter bass. And then a honey mustard sauce. Okay. So all those things, now that's all stuff you've prepped. Okay. Now, when you get to the rally part,
Dun,
you're
dun,
using all
dun.
those different things you made together in the meal. So, like, one of them is like the citrus butter bass with quinoa, and this one was really good, and street corn. So then you're using the bass you made, the quinoa, the corn. So that's all going together, and then like there adds a few extra things like cilantro, lime,
And what's
things
cool
like
is the
that
fish
make
is
it very
already,
easy.
yeah, the fish is already prepped from your Sunday meal prep. So you're just cooking it fresh. Of course, if you wanted to cook it on Sunday, you can. But the beauty of this is that you can have a perfectly quote unquote like fresh meal that's, that's freshly cooked by just already having it marinating or just sitting ready to cook. So you can just pull it out for a carpool.
Okay, and I
Cheers.
recommend everyone make the meatloaf sandwich with the honey mustard
Mm.
dressing that you make and pickles, and that you should put the jammy onions on it.
Oh, so good.
I
I'm
need
great.
lunch.
I think I need to make that for dinner because now I'm literally salivating.
I
That
cannot
one's
wait
so
to
good.
go to the grocery store, to be honest with you.
Yes. Well, guys, I love you. And I'm so happy
Yes.
that you love the book. That really makes me so happy. And that's what I wanted. Like, I just wanted people to fall in love with the recipes and really get inspired, right? And really want to spend time in the kitchen, but want to also get out of the kitchen as quickly as possible, right? By using your
Because you want that to
creativity.
be a fun place. Food is also community.
Yes.
It's where you come together. It's the time you get to spend with your family. And if you're stressed
You
and
should
like
not
not
feel
in a good
stressed.
mood before you sit down,
Yes.
then it's not good.
And that's
So
also why giving the tools rather than a set of recipes that you should have to like follow so strictly, instead giving tools to be able to learn to cook on your own. Like, okay, I just made that asparagus. It was just olive oil, salt, and pepper. I could do that on my own. Maybe I could do that
That I
with
can do,
broccoli
yeah.
now, right? So giving you the confidence, like, hey, I can do this. I've just done it now a couple times. Now I'm going to take it on my own and switch it up and make it my own way, right? So you're not following a recipe to a T and you're doing it your own way and making it more enjoyable.
you're actually doing an amazing generalization strategy of just teaching loosely,
Love it.
where you're now able to generalize to, different stimuli in your environment, which would be different types of food, but doing it kind of the same way. Maybe different places for different people.
She's saying that for the students. You don't have to
Yeah,
have any
you
I
idea
know,
what
love
she's
it.
talking about.
yeah, but it's great. The book is really great at generalization because it's not just a recipe book. It's not just, oh, I'm making this citrus butter bass. Okay, great. But now what do I do for the rest of the week, right?
Right.
And what are all these things that I bought that I'm never going to use again and I'm going to throw out? Because that's what happens when you cook for one recipe and you buy all the stuff, but you don't know how to use the rest. It's all gone.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
So if any of you guys, like myself, who just sent my my child's birthday party thing as a text 4 days before his birthday, and it's like, I think I'm gonna throw something together, and then then I was like, okay, I'll make an invite, and it had the wrong date on it, and everyone like in this thread is like, Leah,
Nice try.
yeah, just like quit while you're ahead. And I was like, guys, I'm just surviving here. And so if any of you guys are surviving,
Survival mode.
like this is something that you like, one thing that you could do to make your life easier. And I'm telling you, if I could do it, which like anything kitchen related, anything having to do with like, you guys know my fingers and my hands in the kitchen is a no. Like I really
Love
recommend this.
you.
And you guys, you could get it on Amazon. Not to brag, but I got it in real life with Dini there. But you guys could get it on Amazon, Prep+Rally, or on Anthro. Isn't everyone's dream to be an Anthro? Actually, just side note, like when I was younger, I was like, my dream is to have a book at Urban Outfitters. Which,
Really?
by the way, they're owned by the same thing. And it was like, I want to make a coffee table book. And
Look
I
at
had so many
you.
different ideas. One was like a dictionary, and it was like inappropriate thing of dicks. And then another one was like I'm always like
Why do I
creeped
know
out by
that the second you said dictionary, the way you said it, I was like, I know she's going there. Why did I?
dictionary, yeah. And then it was like, oh, I'm gonna make one of like creepy motels in America. Like I'm always like fascinated by like the
You
ones that like you
are.
pass, and I was like that's like an urban kind of thing to
Right,
sell.
it's kind of funny. It's true.
Right?
Like creepy motels. Who
But
stays there?
no,
Right.
I didn't do it, but you did it. So I'm here living
Oh,
vicariously through you.
I
So
love you.
thank you. Thank
Thank
you
you for
so
having me.
much for coming on. You guys tag us and Dini at Prep+Rally when you guys prep the food. Maybe one night we could do like a behavior bitches get together with any of you guys who like want to do the cooking with us.
We'll
Also,
That's
I
so
like doing things
cute.
better when I have an audience.
Honestly, that's how
Like-
I got started. I would go live on Instagram. We'd prep live together for an hour on Sunday when I first started this whole subscription service, like years ago. That's how it all got started. We'd do it together in real time, get through it together, kind of like a workout, and then we'd have food for the week. That's how
Was
it got
this during
started.
COVID?
No, way before. This was like 6 years ago. It was like when Instagram
Okay.
Live like first became a thing, I feel like. I was a pioneer, except I stopped doing it because it got too hectic. Once we moved to LA and most of my followers were on the East Coast, going live at 5 p.m. here was so hard, but we did it for a little. I'd send my kids out to the park, but then it got dark late. So it was tricky. So
wait, so speaking of that, can you just also, before like we wrap up here, also talk about your website? Like what could be found
so
there?
prep+rally.com is really how the whole thing got started. And that's essentially what the cookbook is, but you have access, if you're an annual member, every single week you get a new meal plan that takes you through a similar meal plan to the cookbook, except the cookbook obviously is all new ones. And as an annual member, you get access to archives. So you have the past year's worth of meal plans and individual recipes as well. So if you just want to make the meatloaf or you just want to make the broccoli, you could have individual recipes too. So lots of good stuff on there as well.
So that helps with decision fatigue. Like my mom always says, like, just tell me what to make. And like, that's stressed her out. Yeah, okay. So
totally. Try it out.
Check it
you
out.
will love it. And there's a free month. If you do the monthly plan, you could try it out free for the month with code COUNTMEIN. So you get a month free on the subscription service on prep+rally.com.
Perfect. We will put all this in the show notes, where you could find Dini, where you could find the book, and the code so that you can get a month free. Awesome. So thanks so much
for
you guys. Coming on. Yes. So
Dini,
fun.
Thank you.
So fun.
Okay, Alan's going to tell you though, before we don't leave right away when we end, because it's just like 30 seconds for it to upload.
You got it.
All right. You guys go check out Dini's stuff. You know where you could find us. You could find us on Instagram at Behavior Bitches Podcast, on Facebook at Behavior Bitches Podcast, on our website, behaviorbitches.com. If there's a topic you want us to cover, or you want to be the guest, or you know a guest who's amazing, we're always looking for cool people. That's what we love about doing this, is meeting all the cool people we do.
Totally.
So my ADD today is like, my head is in so many fucking places.
Oh no.
Okay.
It's funny to watch.
I feel like I'm on crack though. Like this
poor thing.
They're out of Adderall in the world. That's the problem. Like there's a shortage of Adderall. So like they switched my medication, and I actually feel like I'm on like cocaine.
Shoot.
Anyone who's a Patreon gets to see this.
Sounds fun, actually.
You're hilarious.
All right. So go ahead, leave us a 5-star review in the Apple Store. Please don't make me have to sound so desperate anymore. Go leave the review, or none at all. And that's all we have for you today. As always, love ya.
Mean it. Yay.